The FBI calls saying it has boxes filled with your father's personal possessions. What do you do?
When your dad was an infamous mobster, a made man in the Chicago outfit, you go get them. WGN's investigative reporter Ben Bradley has an exclusive look at what's inside.
Joe and Micah, a decade ago, Frank Calabrese Jr. testified against his father in a major mob trial that took down his own dad, along with some of Chicago's top mobsters. The case solved 18 murders. Calabrese's father later died in prison. About a year ago, the FBI called his son with an unexpected bequest.
I mean, it's really overwhelming. Me and my brother have sat down and gone through this, and we're still far from all of it.
Tucked inside 8 boxes are the final possessions of mobster Frankie the Breeze Calabrese, a man tied to at least 13 murders.
These journals were in the government's possession. That's how I got them. I'm the oldest son. So legally, by right, they come to me.
And inside these boxes are a mobster's memories.
This is my father's Bible. He builds covers, he builds envelopes like this, like file folders.
The pursuit of happiness.
That threw me for a loop.
The purpose-driven life. People don't think of a mob hitman of reading these books.
My father was very smart. You know, he was in a maximum lockdown for terrorists, and he was still able to compromise the prison chaplain. That's how smart he was. Okay, he was a master manipulator, and he's learning from this. He learned from the FBI. So this is what he would read.
And notepad after notepad, chronicling his father's thoughts from prison.
Frankie's a great liar. He has a way of making you believe what he says.
That's your dad talking about you.
Yeah, yeah.
In a bid, you think, to get himself out of the jam?
Yeah, well, definitely. He, you know, that's his defense.
Frank Jr. was following fast in his father's footsteps when he, his brother, uncle, and dad were busted for threats and violence in a loan sharking operation.
During that time, I processed, what am I made out of? What am I going to do with my life when I get out? I can't keep doing what I was doing. And the most important was I lost the fear of my father. I feared my father. It was the only person I ever feared in life was my father.
Then came the so-called family secrets case.
Frank Calabrese is charged. He is alleged to be a member of the outfit, alleged to have committed murder.
With an unusual twist, Frank Jr., while sitting in prison, wrote to the FBI and agreed to wear a wire.
What I would do is I'd find out if that message was ever given and if that's being done. Okay.
Against his brutal father.
I thought it out very thoroughly and very carefully before I did it. And the danger level was off the charts. The warden didn't even want to okay it. They almost had to go in front of a judge to get an order, a court order, for me to be able to wear a wire in prison. And the safety level, heck, I would just been dead.
Now, page after page of his father's notes reveal how he plotted to beat the case.
So yeah, he's turning everything around.
By blaming everyone except himself.
Now, over here, he starts talking about ex-gangsters. He talks about Frank Collada, who's in Vegas.
Calabrese Sr. even sought a mob-style sit-down with the judge.
He wants to manipulate. He didn't know anything about the federal court. So he felt that he can have a sit-down in the federal court.
He wanted to sit down with the judge and work it out.
Right, exactly. And okay, we have our turn, now he has his turn. He didn't understand that.
So instead, he wrote the judge a letter.
He says, first of all, Your Honor, we have proof of what I'm going to tell you, okay? And that's how he starts out. I have proof.
And what's the point he's making?
He's trying to say that everybody's lying, that they're setting him up. He's a poor old man. He's broke, he's busted, he doesn't have any money, and everybody's got it wrong.
Somebody has to watch.
Including the government's charge that the senior Calabrese planned to kill one of the men prosecuting him.
He put kill, okay? He thinks that the government's setting him up. He spelled it K-E-L-L. Like I said, his spelling wasn't good.
When was the last time you saw your dad?
I saw my dad the day of court in 2007, in the beginning of July. When I walked in that courtroom and I looked over, my dad hadn't seen him in 6 years. I was overwhelmed with emotion. I mean, I want to go over there and hug him. That's my dad. Even though I disagree with all his ways, it's still my blood dad. But within a minute or two of him giving me the threatening looks and smirks and knowing that he's going to try to kill me if he can again, I knew what I was there for. Afterwards, I went down and I sat in the prosecutor's office by myself for a while and I started crying. And I realized that that was probably the last time that I would ever see my dad alive again, and it was.
Still, all these years later, the son says he's ready to reveal one of the mob's biggest secrets. Who killed the leader of the Chicago outfit, Sam Giancana, back in 1975? Over the years, fingers have pointed at everyone from his driver to the CIA. Today, Frank Calabrese Jr. says his dad shared the ultimate family secret. In theory, we don't know, beyond a reasonable doubt, who killed Sam Giancana.
No.
But you have a good idea.
Yeah.
Who?
Tony Accardo.
That would be Tony Big Tuna Accardo,
I gamble.
a one-time mob boss himself. But I want to be clear, this isn't your hunch.
No. No.
Your dad told you.
Yes. Yes. And they had mentioned the story that he had put together, the silencer for Sam Giancana's murder.
How are you today?
Now you can hear Calabrese tell the story for $40 on, of all things, a mob bus tour.
See how we're doing on seats.
My family's a little different than most families because my family business was organized crime.
Calabrese tells tourists he's left the mob life behind and is trying to earn money honestly, giving mob tours based on his own
I go get away from there.
family experience.
Here's a guy that enjoyed killing you with his hands, okay? And after a while, I never knew what dad I was dealing with anymore.
I was just so struck riding that bus with you, and I was kind of wondering what goes through your head when you do that tour.
What I found with the bus is it's easier for me to deal with life and deal with everything, come to terms with a lot that happened to me. But what I enjoy is the way people can relate to it, because it's still a family story. And I want people to know that, you know, if I did it, you know, you can do it. You can change your life.
The son also believes his dad, for all his multitude of sins, in the end, sought forgiveness.
He made a mess out of his life. He destroyed a lot of other people's life. It's that umbrella effect around everybody. And I believe that he's in heaven every day. And he's watching down on me, making sure. He goes, you know, you're a manipulator too. I'm watching you. I'm going to make sure you do the right thing. So ironically, he's one of the higher powers that I have that makes me do the right thing every day, that's checking me.
The man he called the master manipulator, still manipulating. How do you know he's not manipulating us essentially from the grave?
Well, because I mean, I don't know 100% for sure, so I can go by what I feel. The day that he died, I felt it. I just felt my gut. But after going through all this stuff, I really honestly believed that he got it. I also thought that one day he'd haunt me from hell, and I haven't got that yet.
We spoke with Sam Giancana's daughter. She and others have very different theories about who killed her father. And we also shouldn't lose sight of the fact that Frank Calabrese Sr. himself was a stone-cold killer. Some mob victims have said they are not happy to see his son making money with these mob tours.
It's kind of chilling, you know, to hear all that and just see what he wrote, just volumes of things.
Well, it's the ultimate family secrets. You know, they had a very estranged, very difficult relationship, father and son, which helps explain why he flipped on him, which, as we all know, is not common in mob cases. And to get these boxes of his father's belongings and to go through them and to see his writings, I think in some ways has been therapeutic. Sure.